Hi Gemini, this is going to be your Sun, Moon, and Rising video for November 2025. Please check back your Moon and Rising sign videos as they're posted. What else was I got it? Also, if you want to purchase a personal reading from me, you can do so at my web address. My website is back up and running. It's HiddenLotusTarot.com. Simply fill out the booking form, pick your package, fill out your booking form, use your name, whatever the booking form tells you, and my turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours. When you book with me, I need your full name, your birth date, and your sun sign. Anybody else that you want to read for, I need their full name, birth date, and sun sign, and then the questions what you want the reading to be about. I can pick you out of the collective. I'm pretty good at that. So let's get on with the reading. I have the Radiant White deck with me. La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need. And we're gonna wrap the reading up with the Psychic Oracle Tarot. Okay? I kind of feel that everybody is in a panic or starting to panic, and so maybe the Psychic Oracle Tarot can give you some bit of guidance or comfort at this time. Let me light my so I think later this evening or tomorrow, I don't know about tomorrow, I think maybe this evening I will do I want to kind of wait and see what's going on with the actual government shutdown and the SNAP benefits to make a prediction. So I'm gonna do that in the next couple of days, okay? Because on November, I think it's 9th, we have the Mars opposed Uranus opposition again, and we also have Mercury going retrograde on the 10th. So that's crazy. So let's start with the reading. I have already done some meditation on your sign and glyph. I'm trying to see who's there out mowing their yard right now. Okay. So we're going to put another rifle and shuffle on a deck. I think I did this quite well, but just to be sure. Let's cut the deck. 9 cards down. Here we go. The Hierophant. The 4 of Cups. 4 of Wands. Judgment. Eight of Cups. Eight of Wands. That's 2 8s that I have. 3 of Swords. Last row, Page of Swords. Queen of Cups. Ace of Cups. Over the entire reading, the Knight of Swords. That's our Mercury coming in. So what do I have? I have 2 major arcana, which are your spiritual lessons. I have 2 wands, which is your focus, passion, ambition, desire, determination. I have 3 cups, which represent the emotional quotient, how you feel about a person, thing, or situation. I have 2 swords, which represent communications, thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, and ideas. 2 court cards in the spread paper itself. So let's start with the 8 of Wands in the center, because everything else is going on around it. The cards are with past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. The 8 of Wands stands for, sometimes it's known as the arrows of love. But also it represents the energy of Mercury in Sagittarius, which Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Sagittarius around November 9th or 10th. So the 8 of Wands is an 8, and 8 represent money, karmic numbers. Usually they're good, but sometimes an 8 can represent obstacles, hassles, and delays. But with the 8 of Wands, it talks about the first thing. I think it talks about events moving quite rapidly. If things were kind of stagnated or not moving, the 8 of Wands signifies that events are going to move rapidly. So hang on. The second thing is known as the arrows of love. It can be like you may meet a new lover, or you may get a message from a lover, something like that. And the third thing, it represents travel, usually by air. We see the 8 wands, they are flying through the air on a card, but we don't know where they're coming from or where they're going to land. So just take this to mean that events are going to move quite rapidly in the situation. At the top, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a 5. All 5s represent some kind of changing energy, tense energy, terse energy, discordant energy. But the Hierophant stands for maybe getting some kind of message from above, like a higher power. It's a pope. He has 2 acolytes at his feet. So he gets the information and he disseminates it down to other people. It represents any kind of hierarchical structure. So we're talking churches, universities, hospitals, the like. It can represent you being well liked and used to social norms. It can also represent marriage. You know, it all represents commerce and contracts because it's a Taurus card. It represents Venus, and Venus represents right relationships, contracts, social norms, making things attractive to people so that they will come along with you. But it doesn't sound to me like this is what's going on, because the next card is a 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands speaks as a 4, and all 4s represent stable or strong foundations. In this case, the card stands for doing what you love and loving what you do. Also speaks to the idea that maybe some kind of relationship will have a deeper meaning than you first thought. So I call it the shacking up card. Shacking up card. That's where 2 people live together, and all of a sudden you find your relationship becoming deeper and more committed. But then I think something changes with the fire, because we have judgment, and judgment says you are being called to a new life. If things are not the way you want them to be, it is up to you to fix it, to find out what the problem is, to fix it. And you must take responsibility for the part you played in everything, and the thing that went wrong. I have an announcement. I have an international symbol of the hospital, like help is on the way. But it doesn't just say you should look at your past and decide where you want, think about it and decide where you want to go next. But it also says use your own judgment, your own reason, your own logic to make the decisions that you know are best for you. And don't let anybody dissuade you otherwise. Okay? Judgment. Sometimes it can herald a legal issue, but in this case, I don't think it is. I have to go deeper into the spread. The next card is the Eight of Cups. Again, it's a 8 are usually positive numbers. They're karmic numbers. But this 8 of Cups has the only eclipse moon in the deck. We just had some eclipse back in September. It was eclipse season. And eclipses are game changers. They can play out all the way 6 months to 19 years. Okay? And this card says that something is not right for you. You're looking for a deeper meaning. It could be spiritual meaning. It could be just personal meaning. But you're looking for something that is not, you're not receiving at the moment. The odd thing about this card to me is that the person walks off in the middle of the night with only his clothes on his back. Because he just says it's not worth it to me anymore. So I think the most profound meaning of the Eight of Cups to me, in my opinion, it says if you have invested more time, more energy, whatever in the situation, and it still hasn't changed, the best thing for you to do is to leave it altogether, because you may want to make different plans in the future. And he definitely walking off towards a future. Here we have the Three of Swords. It's a 3, and all threes represent either possibly 3 people in the situation, or that delays you will have delays before future successes can be realized. But the Three of Swords represents some kind of sadness, bitterness, attack on your feeling center, like maybe somebody hurt your feelings or you hurt somebody else's feelings. It talks about it can presage a breakup. It said that a message will come in that will be difficult, will upset your emotions. But the card also has this wonderful meaning because it's a 3. It's not a 9 or 8 or 10. It's a 3. And so that indicates that this will be short duration. The card says sometimes you have to experience short-term pain to get long-term gain. This is followed by the Page of Swords. So we know that there's a message coming in. In fact, there are 2 messages coming in. The first one is a low-level message. This is the Page of Swords. He's a student of communication. So this is all about reading, exchanging thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, and ideas. Sometimes he can be a nasty character, maybe saying the wrong thing or spying on you, but we'll have to see. This is the Queen of Cups. Even though you are a Gemini, your moon and rising sign could be a water sign, or it just says that you are all in your feelings at the moment. You are maybe getting some flashes of intuition and psychicism. I don't know if that's a word. But you're definitely in tune to your emotions. You're concentrating perhaps too much on your emotions, and you're maybe overlooking something. Finally, it ends with the Ace of Cups. Now the Ace of Cups aces only speak to opportunities. It doesn't say that there's a guarantee. Okay? But what it is, this is a fresh, new emotional reset. That's what it says. A fresh emotional reset. That's what it's telling me. Maybe you have cried your eyes out, see the tears of catharsis, but you're being offered a new way, a new emotional reset. Okay? This card up here, all nights to me, all pages and nights, no matter what suit, are simply messages. But the nights are different, because what they do is a message will come in, and then it will move a situation along. Remember I said if it's stagnant, something is going to come move it along. But this message comes a lot faster than the other nights. See how he's charging in? See how the clouds are all diagonal? The horse's feet are straight out. He's charging in with his sword raised. He's saying like, wait a minute, or hold up. He comes to break up something. So when he arrives, when the message comes, this message is going to kickstart the situation moving along. So I can't look at the two court cards, which will be the Page and the Queen. But what I can do is look at the Four of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Ace of Cups as they relate to these two major arcana cards. These are your spiritual lessons. Okay? We start first with the Four of Wands, and we take them in the order that they fell. Nothing about the Four of Wands next to these two cards. The Eight of Cups. Nothing about the Eight of Cups, but it talks about two eights. Two eights appearing in the reading imply that there may be a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. I was going to say this is definitely a partnership, because the Judgment card is 20, and broken down in numerology it's a 2. And 2s always talk about either some kind of partnership, a decision making, crossroads, oppositions, a decision had to be made. And I think you have already made the decision, or someone has made the decision. Let's look at the Eight of Wands. Nothing about the Eight of Wands. Three of Swords. Nothing about the Three of Swords. And finally, the Ace of Cups. Nothing about the Ace of Cups. I want to read something else to you that caught my eye when I was looking at the Three of Swords. In a reading, the Three of Swords can indicate that either yourself or someone very close may be experiencing second thoughts or a change of heart, which in turn will bring about a change in attitudes and or behavior. It also says if you've been waiting on some important mail, information, or documents, the Three of Swords tell you that it's on the way. You have to, it indicates a time that you should let go of things you know are no longer positively serving you in your life. For example, if a relationship which is no longer positive and growing is causing unhappiness, it must be allowed to die a natural death, regardless of the short-term pain. It says that there may be another person involved or more than one person involved. A focus is on separation and loss, and you may be experiencing difficulties in a relationship that could lead to separation. This may cause disharmony and feelings of loss, but long term you may find the new changes to be exactly what was required, much like a blessing in disguise. It foretells of arguments, family arguments, and disputes. It may even lead to separation. Now let's read the Eight of Cups. It could be an indication that a new interest is on the way, the Eight of Cups. This could be by way of personal relationships or the exciting experience of new knowledge gained. It asks you to evaluate your life and lifestyle choices and then make appropriate changes. The Eight of Cups indicate that the old ways are no longer working for you and it's time to make some sweeping changes. That's like this card. Once you have made the decision to move on, your attention will turn to seeking happiness and fulfillment. It indicates a situation where the only solution is to let go entirely, regardless of how much effort or energy has put into it. If it's still not working, the only option is to abandon it. Do not waste any more of your time or effort. I'm not going to pull any extra cards on this because I think it's self-explanatory. Somebody is making the decision to walk away from a relationship that was once quite close, or you thought it was close, but you know, that's life. Things change. People's feelings change. Sometimes relationships just run out of road, and there's nothing you can do about it. People outgrow each other, or the needs change. So this is a case where I think somebody has to come to acceptance with a choice or decision that is made. So we're gonna pull a Psychic Oracle Tarot. You know, it's hard right before the holidays if you break up with somebody. But then think about it. You don't have them tagging along at the holidays, making you miserable. It's a Chariot card, number 7, the Triumph. And either way, I think no matter which way it goes, whether you do the leaving or someone else does the leaving, it's a fresh new emotional start. Okay? Let's read this is a Major Arcana card. The power of your soul is pushing and nudging you steadily forward. Whether you're setting new goals, developing ideas, or planning a journey, it's essential that it's carefully thought out. When you tap into your inner guidance and balance, it will self-control and balance it with self-control, hard work, and perseverance. It's likely to manifest a triumphant outcome. It's time for you to be single-minded and focus on the end goal. Visualize the successful results as if it were happening right now. When you have achieved what you set out to do, your ability to meet other life challenges will be significantly increased. When you try to move forward with balance, direction, or guidance, it's easy to slip off your intended path and be drawn away from your desired goal. Now is not the time to let go or allow the river of life to pull you in its current. As you can so easily lose control. Grab your oars, grip them tightly, and steer carefully toward your highest aim or destination. The Triumph card reminds you that you don't have to be alone with all of life's ups and downs and the challenges that you face. This is a time to tap into the powerful knowledge of others, as well as to use your inner resources that are within you. Indeed, call upon a friend or somebody that you can talk to. Okay? So that's it, Gemini, for November. Good luck.